And we're starting off with Kind Hearts and Coronets. This is a movie that it's an Ealing Studios comedy film. The basic plot is there is a man who grows up in poverty because his working...
He thinks he grows up in poverty.
The indignity of being working class.
The indignity of being like upper middle class.
This is just like how in Mr. Deeds, like he's supposed to be like
right. He's like, oh, is a man from it's a small town. He's a man of the people. He's like he comes from nothing, and
he only has one servant.
Right, exactly.
His mother marries an opera singer out of love and not out of kind of duty to a kind of royal family, and so she's excommunicated. And suffers indignity after indignity in the stiff upper lip world of British dukedom and duchessness.
Duchessdom.
And he swears revenge on his family for doing that to him and his mother. And he is, I believe, 12th in line to become Duke of D'Artagnan.
I don't think that's what it was.
It
but
is.
I could be misremembering.
Dascoin.
That's what it
is.
It's
the Dascoin family. The Duke of Chalfont. So he hatches a scheme to arrange the deaths of everyone in the family who shut him and his mother out, in order to become the Duke.
Right. He tries to stage a King Ralph situation. Or I guess not really a King Ralph situation, because he's trying to murder them one by one, not all in one go.
Mm-hmm. Systematically. And this whole thing also has a kind of framing narrative of him starting off on, like, about to be, on the eve of his execution.
Right.
And he's kind of confessing to all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a comedy. It's a black comedy.
Indeed. Yeah. About murder. But this movie's very British.
Incredibly
British.
British.
Aggressively British.
It certainly, one thing that kind of edges it up in terms of Britishness is that it doesn't have only one Sir Alec Guinness.
Oh.
It has 8.
Yeah. What's better than one Alec Guinness? 8 Alex Guinness.
Alex Guinness.
Yeah, I think that might be one of the more notable things about this movie, is that it is a sort of Nutty Professor style. Alec Guinness plays 8 different characters in different makeup.
Yeah. A lot of
wigs and such.
It's, and honestly, like, I feel like they don't draw a huge amount of attention. Well, I don't know. They put enough makeup on him that it's not like trying to be conspicuous and like reality breaking as far
right.
as...
It's like the I guess like the makeup designs aren't that absurd. It's like old Alec Guinness, like woman Alec Guinness, like big mustache Alec Guinness. Like they're not going that bananas with it.
Yeah, they play it kind of straight.
Yeah.
But I think this movie is maybe funnier to British people and funnier to British people in the 1940s.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was kind of, it's charming in a way. I got a couple chuckles out of it. But like, there's an anecdote about Alec Guinness reading the script and howling in laughter. And I don't
know if I can imagine Alec Guinness howling unless he's doing the alien dragon noise from Star Wars, which is not him doing it.
So it does feel like his kind of multi-role aspect is being played relatively straight, which I think it's a different choice than what you would see in these kind of Eddie Murphy movies or something.
Right. Yeah. It's not going as right. It's not as absurd about it as those, but it is like fun to see him kind of like play each different character a little bit. Like it's still just kind of it's entertaining just to see him play that many different characters.
Yeah. These are all of the different members of the Dascoin family who are being murdered by our hero, who is Louis Mazzini, who was changed to be Italian from Jewish in the original story
Oh.
in order to
Not be anti-Semitic.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. I think it's interesting. We've encountered this a couple times lately, where like movies have had alterations made to them shortly post World War II movies have had alterations made to their stories or scripts in order to kind of remove any kind of semblance of anti-Semitism.
Right.
Like painting a Jewish character in a bad way. They're just like, yeah, you guys just went through something really
Yeah,
rough.
it's like that's
so,
that's
like,
not a great
yeah,
look.
maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean this movie is what was I going to say about it? Shit.
You're saying the movie's shit?
No. Oh, just to go back to the sort of thing of like, right, it's established early on that like the mother was sort of excommunicated from the royal family, or the family of whatever, Descoing. And it's like the narration is like, we were poor. It was like we were living rough, and it's like the footage is like a much nicer apartment than mine. Like it is a like very well furnished, nice like brownstone on like a nice street, and it's like, oh, we were so poor, and it's like, I think that is intentional, that it is like,
right,
the narration is not matching what you're seeing. It's like they weren't living in a literal castle, and so he's like, oh, we were
cheated.
Yeah.
I mean, in a way they were cheated, but yeah, I think it adds to his kind of
it's like
bitterness
he's still living in like an incredibly comfortable, like privileged life,
right.
Yeah.
But he becomes more bitter because the kind of girl next door is from like a 1% family, something like that, and she doesn't take him seriously because he's not like achieving that level of status. It is very, very much a movie about like British status, and decorum, and all that kind of stuff.
But it's, as per a lot of British humor, it's like it's really taking the piss out of that too. It's really like it is. I do think there is a level of kind of trying to play that stuff as absurd, of like, why do we care about this?
Yeah, it's making a mockery of these things.
And it is like, as the tone of it is fairly dark and not super silly, but it is like the things that are happening are kind of silly, but they're also very morbid and very like sinister.
Yeah.
It's really leaning into the kind of like, everyone is acting incredibly proper and incredibly like, mannered, and yet it is just the most sinister stuff is happening.
Yeah, and it's interesting because like the movie, starts with an acknowledgement that this character is about to be executed for murder.
Mm-hmm.
But like there's like a charm to him in the beginning of the movie.
Sure. Yeah.
And I think he becomes more and more sinister throughout the course of the movie. Even after he's murdered one or two people, you're like, this guy's kind of fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, and also it's like the people he's murdering, especially at the beginning, you're kind of like, they kind of had it coming.
Right.
Like, those guys are assholes.
But like, yeah, as his scheming becomes, I think, like more bloodthirsty. Like, you watch the characters sort of transform into like, from someone with murderous ambitions to someone who's murdered people but still kind of fun to like this like evil person.
Well, because then he starts like seducing the widow of one of the people he murdered.
Yeah. He's kind of just taking every opportunity to mess with people and like be like, I don't know, very vindictive.
Some of the murders are pretty absurd. There's one where someone's in a hot air balloon, which he shoots down with a bow and arrow.
That was an easy one. That was a freebie.
There's one where just two ships crash into each other. He doesn't have to do anything.
That was an actual freebie. Yeah.
There's one where he kills someone by delivering exploding caviar to them, which might be the most British way to murder someone.
That's
most sort of like
very on the nose.
Well, maybe not the most British, but the most posh way to murder someone is exploding caviar.
If you're you're talking about status and all that kind of thing, caviar is definitely an apt delivery mechanism of death.
there's sort of the point where he's murdered his way to this title, achieved the thing that he set out to do at the beginning, and then the police show up and he's like, oh no, the police are here, and the police arrest him for the one murder that he did not commit.
Yeah.
He is unable to prove his innocence of that murder that he is actually innocent of in court, and so he's put on death row, and thus is like writing his memoirs. At the last minute is saved from being put to death, and it's like, oh man, he got away with it. But the last thing that happens in the movie, spoilers, is that they're like, oh, like, we're here to publish your memoirs, and he goes, oh no, and it like cuts back to his jail cell, and his memoirs of confessing to the 12 other murders that he did commit are lying there on the table. Which is a great ending. Like,
yeah, I love that. I love that twist of that he went to jail for the one that he didn't do. I think that works really well.
It is very like clever, like satisfying writing. This movie,
yeah,
which I really like about it.
Yeah, it's a fun time. I enjoyed it. I think that the murders are inventive, and it's kind of interesting because he's like killing these people, but you're also watching him sort of ingratiate himself into their world at the same time. He's like working his way up the ladder, but like he wants these people are like, even though he's related to them, they're barely aware of him. So
right, it's like they don't recognize him. If they've met, it's like at a big dinner somewhere.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it seems like his mother was not invited to the dinners,
right?
But it kind of reminded me a bit of Barry Lyndon, as like sort of like scumbag working his way up through like the social hierarchy.
Yeah, very much so. Wow, yeah, that is actually a very apt comparison. Yeah, I read that this movie had, when it was imported to the U.S., it had a couple of Hays Code edits.
Unsurprisingly.
Yeah, I mean, one of which is the ending. I think they did some re-edit of the ending. I'm not sure exactly what, to show his memoirs being discovered. So it's like fully confirmed that he will be punished for the other murder. Like there is no possible way that he is actually going to get away with it. They're like, no, in the Hays Code, you have to be punished for murder always, no matter what. And even though that is, implied in the British cut, it is, I guess, not sort of like hammered home as much, which I think makes it better. But I often disagree with the Hays Code, so
I think they're right most of the time.
Then I think the other one was removing the racial slurs, which do come out of nowhere and are just like, whoa, movie.
Yeah. This movie was just doing fine. It was having an okay time. They even made the movie less racist on purpose. And then
exactly. Right. They were like, oh, we're going to go out of our way to make this movie less racist. We're still going to put the N-word in it.
I was watching that movie and somebody walked in right at that scene. And I was like, the rest of the movie was not like this. This came out of nowhere. This eeny, meeny, miny, mo digression. Don't know why you had to put that in there. But,
right. It also is like, it serves like no purpose. It's like it seems totally incidental.
Yeah. When it happened, I audibly said, whoa!
Yeah. Well, it's like Agatha Christie books were like, had to be edited in the US to take out all the racial slurs. I think like Britain just didn't, it wasn't as loaded, I think, over there.
I think also...
Or something. I mean, I have to assume.
I get the sense also in current day that people in Europe just don't have to confront race issues as often as people in America do, and so they're dumber about that stuff.
You heard it here, folks. Europeans are dumb.
About racial sensitivity. Not that we're that Americans are that great either.
I guess it just sort of a footnote that I found interesting is that this movie is shot by Douglas Slocum, who
Yeah.
was also the director of photography for the Indiana Jones movies. So that's cool.
Wow.
Yeah. What a career that guy had.
Yeah, that's crazy. A couple of spare things in this movie, like the when you're first getting introduced to the character, like, there are the hangman's kind of coming, and it's his last kind of hanging before retirement. He's looking through the little window into the cell, and instead of staring at the man, he's staring at his neck, which I think is like kind of like a fun little like visual joke.
Yeah, that is.
And then there's also, like, along with this kind of like status stuff, there's this thing in the beginning of the movie of like them trying to figure out how to address him. Like, do I call him Your Honor, like, as a duke? Because he's this, like, he is arrested right after he becomes a duke,
right? Like at the ceremony.
Yeah. And so they're like, no, you call him Your Grace. And so they're like going up to this guy who's about to be executed, and he's like, Your Grace.
Right.
Which is kind of it's a funny interaction.
Yeah. Which is all, like, the movie is very much leading into.
Yes.
Sort of
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It knows what it's doing.
There's also a point where he says, as the old Italian proverb says, revenge is a dish which people of taste prefer to eat cold.
Yeah. I'm like, is that Italian or is it Klingon?
I thought it was Klingon myself. Yeah.
But, considering this is several years before Star Trek, I'm gonna go ahead and assume that it did not originate with the Klingons.
Or Kill Bill, for that matter.
Well, at least that acknowledges.
Yeah.
Previous. I do very much appreciate Quentin Tarantino, though, for attributing that quote to the Klingons and not Italy.